there was definitely a misalignment. And the biggest misalignment for me as well was that I was hiding myself. So I was like, okay, this is what people expect to see of a professional coach, this and that, and this is what I'm going to serve. And that what would that end up doing was that I diluted myself. I was scared. In a way, it was a fear of visibility because I didn't want to be different, which was primarily due to my own conditioning. This is Bristol with Tanya, brought to you by Wiz Digital Academy, a show for business athletes and online bosses who are ready to take up. Oh, yep. And if this is your first time, follow the page, follow the podcast. You know how we do. Now, you're not going to be selfish and not follow and take all the goodies. You want to follow, subscribe, and share so that other people also can make that money, not just you. We're spreading the love around here. So, if it's your first time, yeah, we have to spread the love. So, if this is your first time, welcome to Biz Talk. This is a show where coaches, thought leaders, influencers, where we speak about making that money and creating businesses that we love and no longer need an escape from. And this segment is where we bring on business leaders, thought leaders, and badass entrepreneurs that are choosing to do business their way and nobody else's, and they're writing the rules according to themselves. And this is to help you get another perspective on how you could do business. Today we got JD, my good friend JD. Oh my gosh, this is a long time coming, yeah.
It
This is a
is.
long time coming. JD, welcome to Biz Talk with Tanya.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I even
So
put
am I.
on the
So
red
am
lipstick for
I.
you.
Yeah, the red lipstick came out. Now, y'all know these days I'm a little bit natural, y'all. My face been reacting to makeup, so you're gonna have to love me if you're watching this. Love me the way I am, the way God created me. Okay? And
Oh,
anyway, you're not here to look at my beautiful face. I know my men love looking at my beautiful face, but not you. So you are here for the goodies on today's show. Yeah, I got no choice. You have a choice.
oh, you crack
So
me up.
JD, I think anybody that listens to the show will usually get cracked up with a couple of the crazy things that I say, but you love me anyway. So, JD,
Yes.
girl, if you don't know who JD is, let me quickly tell you. JD is a brand strategist and brand coach, and she works with badass women to create brands that stands out online.
Yes.
And today we're about to discuss something that probably all of us, as you get in the online space, we start struggling with, which is brand visibility,
Mhm.
which is the fear of showing up live or on camera. I remember I had this particular fear. So if today you
Yeah.
can even see me without makeup, it means I've gained so much confidence over the years. And of course, the biggest thing, conversion, because this was added after we discussed what we would talk, and JD said something that was like a light bulb. A lot of entrepreneurs don't have a
Excuse me.
visibility problem, but they have a conversion problem. So,
Yes.
girl,
Yes.
before we get into this, you gotta tell us, how did you get started to how did you end up here as a coach? So we kind of want to know your story, girl.
It is a long story. Oh my goodness. I'm 44 years old. So it's a long story. So I started off as a singer, as an artist, as a songwriter. So, and you got to excuse me, I'm still recovering from COVID. So I'm just constantly coughing.
Oh my,
Sorry
that's
about
all
that.
right.
So I started off as a singer and songwriter, and I had to do it all myself. I had to learn not only be the creative behind, obviously the music and all that kind of stuff, but I had to learn how to brand myself. I was like, what is that? What is branding? So I learned that really quickly. I learned about marketing myself as the product, right? And then I learned how to connect the business side, the music side, the marketing, the branding, the manufacturing, the promotion all
Mm.
together. So you could
Wow.
say that I have a wide variety of skills because I was an independent artist. So fast forward to,
Wow.
yeah, I know. That's just like a little bit of the story. Then fast forward to 2012, where I decided to just retire as an artist. And at the time, I was an independent artist under my own record label. So I was already like
Mm.
in business, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I decided around that time I'm going to give it all up. I'm going to give up the recording, like the label, the recording label. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
give up my career as a singer, and I transitioned into a branding agency. Now, this
All
didn't happen
right.
overnight. I'm kind of like, fast forwarding a lot. So, in 2012,
Mm-hmm.
I opened up my first branding agency, and I started to consult with all types of people. And I really did not know at all what I was doing. I'll just say that right now. I had no idea. I was literally trying to speak to everybody, trying to jump through hoops for everybody, trying to do all the things. Everything
Mm.
cool? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I, I,
good.
think,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
good.
I'm hearing myself back, right?
Yeah, that was a bit of echo, so that's good now. We're good now. I just
Okay,
fixed
we're
it.
good now. Awesome, awesome. Yeah.
Great.
All right. So that's how I kind of got started in the whole marketing. I had to learn the hard way through so much failure. Like as they say, I failed forward because I literally had to learn, okay, now that I'm a branding agency, it doesn't always work the same way for everybody else the way it did for me in my music career. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's how I got started. And I started to consult with all types of people. And then now I am an online based coach and also a CEO of my agency still. And I specialize in one area for a certain, like a specific, people. So a specific type of people. So I've really, really learned the art of niching.
Now, that is interesting, the heart of niching. And I think that is, whenever I work with clients, whenever I consult, even just on strategy sessions,
Yeah.
a lot of the things that I often find, whether it's new coaches and ironically even established coaches that have been coaching a while, because I used to think it was only a new coach thing. Many people are afraid of niching,
Oh
and when
no.
you would look over the work, and because one of the things I do with my clients, I'll do a digital footprint kind of audit, and I will see that their messaging is so diluted because they're trying to spread themselves thin to speak to everybody. So what could be the issue there?
My personal opinion is that there is that scarcity mindset. So you think like I'm in business, I want to serve everyone, which is a mistake that I made in my first agency. So what happens is you try to speak to everyone with a very broad and general messaging, and because you're not
Mm,
speaking to somebody specific, nobody listens. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like saying walking down the street and going, hey you just not even listening to it because they could be speaking to
mm.
anybody. But when they say, Tanya, hey Tanya, what happens? You turn
It's
around.
okay. Yeah, that, do I know her? That's
Exactly.
basically the first thing. Do I know her?
Exactly. So if I'm saying to you as a message, hey everyone, this product is amazing, I can help you solve all your problems, that's just noise, right? But if I say, hey Tanya, I can help you niche down so that you can speak directly to your specific audience and convert, you're like, oh my goodness, JD, how did you know that I was thinking that? So that's the art of niching.
Exactly. That is the art, and you've You've summed it up really beautifully, because it's literally, when you niche down, it's literally like you are calling one particular person. And that's the hard, even like when I get people asking me about content, that's literally what you do with content. And I just did a piece on that on my YouTube channel, where it's you're speaking to one person, but you're speaking to a lot of people at the same time.
We will be back shortly with your episode. Right now, let's hear a quick word from today's episode sponsor.
But now coming to this, because obviously when it comes to creating content, getting your messaging out there, we gotta be visible.
Yes.
What is the biggest thing that you come across as a brand strategist working with female entrepreneurs that actually ends up costing them in terms of gaining visibility?
No, not many people are going to like this answer. I'm sorry, don't hate me. But it is starting with the niche, okay? There's a number of problems, but it definitely starts with the niche, okay? The thing is, okay, niching is the people who you are marketing to, right? I'm speaking right at you, because when I say I help female CEOs, okay, in my messaging copy, if a man comes to me and says, "Hey, JD, I love your work, I want to work with you," I don't say, "Oh, you're a man, I can't work with you." No, my marketing message is for the ladies, specifically in the coaching and the course creation world. But if anybody outside of that comes, they're golden nuggets that I get to say yes or no, whether I want to work with them. So that's the big difference right there. Second thing is, I'm getting really excited here.
I can feel like you're in your zone of genius and you're like a
Oh,
child inside a candy store.
because I want to help so many people and they have to understand this simple concept. And then the second thing that I find is that everybody has got a Canva account. Everybody thinks that they're a designer now because they've got a Canva account, and everybody is looking like everybody else, sounding like everybody else, using the same template, and it's just noise. You're not standing out. So what is the point of being visible and forgetful? And again, don't hate me, but that's what's happening. You're just noise, when really, if you have a very intentional and impactful brand, you're no longer noise. You are setting yourself apart from everybody else. So that's when your reach becomes important. Reach is not important when you're just another coach saying the same thing, looking the same way, using the same brand colors. So that's the difference. And again, don't hate
That's
me.
like that's like a hallelujah moment right there. And the reason why this resonates with me so much, and I'm going to shake, because I like to be authentic to the point that I'm actually sharing my own failures, is that I made this mistake when I started out online. I came from the brick and mortar industry, obviously worked as in marketing long enough, and you're like, okay, I can just translate. And there was definitely a misalignment. And the biggest misalignment for me as well was that I was hiding myself. So I was like, okay, this is what people expect to see of a professional coach, this and that, and this is what I'm going to serve. And that what would that end up doing was that I diluted myself. I was scared. In a way, it was a fear of visibility, because I didn't want to be different, which was primarily due to my own conditioning while growing up, being teased because I was so tall, that at a point I just wanted to be short, petite, so that I could blend in with everybody. And then when I got online, this was a world where I had the opportunity to blend in, and unconsciously I thought I was doing something different, but unconsciously, I was doing everything to blend in. So I didn't want to say this. I didn't want to be outspoken about things. And then when I turned that around, I was like, F it. I'm going to talk about my face. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. If I want to inspire, and because there's a lot of noise. They're like, no, don't share inspirational content. Don't share motivational content. Don't share this, don't share. I was like, if it, you know what? I'm breaking the rules. I'm going to do it my way. Then I stopped being noise and people started paying attention to me and I saw my reach grow. And so it's interesting that you are saying that that is actually one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of coaches and entrepreneurs make, because I made the exact same mistake. And I remember there was a day we were chatting and you said, Tanya, the biggest problem with your brand is, I think you said something about congruency with my brand aligning
Yes.
everywhere I was present, which at the time, and one thing I must pat myself on the back, the minute we got off that call, I went and implemented what you said. And that
Fantastic.
is, I think I need to pat myself on the back for that. But now let's talk about kind of what we hinted on here, fear of visibility. Because
Yes.
one of the things that I have come across, especially in the online space, is that people are afraid to get on camera. And I know
Yes.
that this is something you coach people on. So I kind of wanted you to touch on that, the fear of visibility.
You know what it is? It's because a lot of us, we start our businesses thinking we have an idea of the direction we want to go in. And then somewhere along the way, we realize that we have been starting this business heavily like based on our interpretation of our identity based on external factors. Yes. So what happens is there's a disconnect with our sole purpose and what we're actually trying to do. And also we take on a lot of other people's idea of success and we make it mean our own success. So that is why I can't.
This is a prayer. This is like a prayer moment. Like, oh, hallelujah.
Yeah. And this is the thing. It's like a lot of people struggle to stand out online because we're going to work backwards. It's because they don't know who they really truly are. So they are trying to, they got the logo, they got the fancy website, they've slapped together some type of visual brand which looks good enough, but again, you know, it doesn't really stand out because they are born to stand out, but they're just blending in because there is a disconnect with self, right? So we have
So
to
true.
start with the foundations. So once we know who we are, like you said, you don't care about the makeup. I hosted a go live challenge for 28 days. I got hit with COVID. I showed up online in my pajamas looking like death. And I still did it without even blinking because I know who I am now. Me 2 years ago, I was blending in. I was looking at every competitor and I was like, ooh, that looks good. I might copy that and make it my own. Ooh, look at that. And I was diluting who I was because I was trying to fit in. But the minute that I got clear as to who I am as a CEO, who I am in the space of leadership for women, I haven't looked back. It's been like night and day. So my advice to everyone listening and watching right now is get to know who you truly are, number one, because you are the strategy, honestly. Marketing, branding, it does not matter because you are the strategy. Be your authentic self. Yeah.
Damn. Oh, Jenny just gave us like that drop mic moment, like, boom, like, I'm done. Bye, good night. Hello. Yeah. This is like my TED talk. Thank you for coming to my TED talk. Yeah, I'm done. Because what you just said right there, and it's literally what I found out that has changed the game for me.
Yeah.
And when I mean change the game, like change the game for me, because when you know who you are, what your identity is,
Yeah.
like immediately, even your content, whatever you put out is elevated above the noise, because you there's that energy that just comes out and people start paying attention. I don't know if anybody listening to this has ever encountered this way. You might have had somebody on your timeline that you were not paying attention to, then suddenly out of the blue you start paying attention to them, you start consuming their content, you stop like, oh my gosh, this person is doing, but like you've been following them for maybe a few months and you never paid attention. And that's
Yeah.
usually because that person has accepted who they are and is bringing that out into what they are putting out in the message, and that just changes the game because that magnetizes people, and
Exactly.
that actually helps with visibility.
Exactly.
It's so
Exactly.
interesting. It's so interesting.
It's
Now,
exactly that. Yeah. And the thing is, when you don't care anymore what other people are thinking about you, and you let go of external validation, you're free. It's like, oh, I can breathe again. And so showing up live in my pajamas with COVID, it was like nothing, because I did not care about anybody else's, approval of me, because my job was to show up for my people, which I did. And my job was to give them value, which I did. And that's it. So when you give yourself permission to shine in this way, going live becomes something that you may be uncomfortable at first, but like exercising, I haven't exercised for a while, right? So what do I have to do? I have to just go outside, go for a long walk, and then get my body a little used to it. I don't go for a 5K, marathon or whatever on the first day. It's the same thing. So you're just gonna get your feet wet, do a little live, just introduce yourself, say, hey, what's up? This is who I am, and this is what I want to talk about. Have a great day. And then in a couple of days, do it again. And through doing that, again, you're going to fall so much more in love with yourself, because you're doing it and it doesn't become about you anymore. It becomes about serving others. So that's when you just do it over and over again. And it's like, like a water, what do they say? Water off a duck's back. Yeah. It becomes that, because it becomes like nothing. It just becomes like breathing.
that's
Yeah.
true. It becomes second nature, because I remember
Yeah.
the first time I went live, I was petrified.
We all
I
were.
was petrified.
Yeah.
And the more I did it, because with me, what I did, I was like, I can't go live. I'll start with pre-recorded, and then eventually I went into live, and that has been like my history. But the first time, even recording a video the first time was uncomfortable. Going live the first time was uncomfortable. But one thing when I look back, is that I gave myself permission to show up anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that is key. Give yourself permission to show up. Believe so much into the message that you have that you are willing to grow through the discomfort. Because it wasn't comfortable, but I chose to, and I've given myself permission. Now, as we are wrapping up, the one thing we gotta touch on is what JD said. People do not have a visibility problem, but they have a conversion problem. Can you just touch on that for us?
For sure. So, okay, I got very mixed up with all the vanity metrics as a new online coach, like the rest of us, because we're taught so much about, how many views did you get, how many, all that kind of stuff. So, like everybody else, I did the reels, and I got very fixated on, I got 2,000 views this day, I got 5,000 this day, got to keep pumping up the reels, right? And then I realized I'm not getting any sales through all of this effort. So I'm killing myself trying to stick up. I mean, not stick up, trying to keep up, trying to stick up. I don't know what I'm thinking about. It's like, but trying to keep up with like everything to do with content and being everywhere and being seen. And I realize that as many times as you are seen, if your messaging is not hitting, you don't have a reach problem, you have a conversion problem. So that's where we have to go back to square one, like we talked about, work on your foundations, work on your niche market, which is who are you marketing to, and then write copy and content and teach them things that is going to serve them, that specific audience. When you do that, that's when you need to worry about your reach, because when you're converting consistently, that's when you got to turn up everything else. But there's no point in turning up your reach when you're not converting at all. So people are doing it backwards. Yeah.
So true. So true. I remember my coach, a coach of mine said, it's like opening the tap and not having a container to catch the water and
Exactly.
and so it's literally, if your marketing message is not potent enough, you turning on the tap of reach, of having millions of views, of going viral, is you actually doing yourself a disservice. And
Yes.
at the end of the day, do you really need to go viral to have a viable business? That is a
Absolutely
question
not.
that he asked on that call. I was like, actually,
Yeah.
no. How many clients do you actually need to, let's say, hit your goals? And if, let's say, your package is $10,000 and your goal is to hit to be a six-figure business owner, or it's 10 clients. If your goal is to be like a million, seven-figure, it's like 100 clients. Do you really need a million views to get 100 clients?
No.
And that thing just shifted my mindset
Yeah.
around doing everything.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's just a vanity metric. If you want to be an
That's true.
influencer, that's a different story. But I also know a lot of broke influencers who have got over 100,000 of followers and they can't sell one single t-shirt. So do
True.
I want to be famous, insta famous and broke? No, definitely not. I'd rather have a tiny audience that is loyal, that are ready to buy, who are interested in what I have to say, rather than being noise to a whole bunch of people. So yeah. So really ask yourself, do you have a
Fantastic.
problem, or do you have a reach issue? Like, so, I mean, I said the same thing then. Do you have a reach issue? Do you have a conversion issue? If you think that you're converting at a really good speed, but not enough people are seeing what you're putting out, then yeah, you have a reach issue. But if you are putting out everything to everybody and no one's buying, then you don't have a reach issue, you have a conversion issue. All right. So you need to tighten up everything. And then once things start to flow out, people are buying your stuff, then expand your reach. That's when you do the things like Facebook ads and everything else. But yeah, a lot of people are wasting so much money doing things in different orders, the wrong way around, Yeah.
And I think there's this misconception, especially this idea that, oh, you just need to turn on a Facebook or Google ad and then people will just come. And that's actually, if you can't get clients organically, then you will not be able to convert with Facebook ads as you want. So
That's it.
just putting it out there. And if you are thinking that, okay, Facebook ad might be a problem because we got this whole situation going on between Mark and Apple, let me just let you know that Google is going in that direction as well. They are changing the rules in terms of tracking for Android phones.
Okay.
So that means that whole tracking that you because I've seen a lot of people leave Facebook ads and move to Google ads and YouTube ads because they can kind of track people that are on Android, which was the other half that do not use Apple products. Well, the rules are about to change. Google is following suit towards what Apple is doing. So that means if you are only relying on ads to get clients, then baby, you are about to have a problem.
Yeah.
So just putting it out there. Just
Yeah.
putting it out there. So you do want to take what JD said here and like really think carefully with everything. So JD, as a wrap up, like how can people get hold of you? Do you have any goodies that you're willing to share with our people? Like, toot your own horn here, girl.
Yeah, well, I have a bunch of goodies on my website. So jddrayton.com, really nice and straightforward. So on there, I've got things like videos that you can watch. I've got a couple of downloads. I've got what do you call it? Like a productivity type tool that I use to really stay on top of my to-do list. I've got an Instagram thing on there. So whatever, just reach out to me. I'm working on a whole bunch of newbies at the moment, which are going to be way better than anything I've ever done. So reach out to me. I don't buy. I just give lots of honest, feedback with love.
That's so true. I know there's a free course that JD did sometime last year. I believe it's called the Consistent Cash Flow.
Oh, yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
that free course, I promise you, is worth $1,000 at least.
Wow.
And I remember texting JD. I'm like, girl, you put it out for free. You put all that for free, and her response was, well, if you think that is good, well, you better believe that what I got is way better than that on the paid other side of the paywall. So, guys, definitely check out her website and see what you can do. Reach out to her. She doesn't bite. She's actually one of the nicest people I've met online. So you guys do reach out. She's really kind and she'll really be of service to you if you are trying to gain visibility and actually not just gain visibility and make that money while you being visible, which is important. You don't want to be a broke coach.
Exactly. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you also want to join my Facebook group, then that's Female CEOs Club. So look that up and I can maybe put it in the link or something like that in the comments after this live.
Yeah. Fantastic. And for those listening on the podcast, I'll put it up in the show note and the description of the episode. So you can just click on that and then you are in the water like you want to. So on this note, guys, thank you so much for watching, listening, giving us some love, leave some comments, let us know what you thought of this episode. What were your aha moment? If you are listening to it, take a screenshot of the episode, tag me, tag JD, and I promise you we will reshare your story with our own audience. So on this note, thank you for stopping by. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Tanya. Bye.